Oh god. Oh dear. What I just saw. So what I just saw was posted by, I believe someone told me this is a college group. No surprise there. And this is legitimately getting scary, what some of these groups think. And then they call other people the extremists. But, oh geez, this is probably one of the worst ones I've seen. And, oh god, these people need to be buoyed, because seriously, if they don't... Okay, so the group is called LGBT plus Goldsmiths. And the original post was about why sending quote-unquote bigots to a gulag is a compassionate, non-violent course of action. How is it non-violent? What if you don't comply and you don't want to go? Just like people who commit crimes don't want to go to jail. And what happens when you get caught and you refuse to go to jail? They sure as hell don't say okay and walk away. But then again, these people don't think things through. So I'll read their tweet thread and show you how absolutely wacko and extremist these people are. Alright, so their first tweet is, here's a mini thread to clarify what a gulag is for those who've only heard of it being used as a buzzword, and why sending one is actually a compassionate, non-violent course of action.
Excuse me, what?
Oh yes, send you to a political prison. How compassionate. And here, when they're facing backlash, they try to, their response is something that you'd expect from a teenager. They're going, so first of all, the USSR no longer exists. Therefore, gulags no longer exist.
Oh, we're playing those games again.
Really? That's your... It's become an umbrella term. It's becoming pretty much a generic term at this point for political prison, concentration camp, etc., etc. But no, please, play the semantics game. That'll help your argument. May as well make a case against Orientalism, but the USSR does not equal Russia. No, but it's a massive part of Russia's history. Russia is not governed by a communist party. Got that? Okay, good. No, it's run by a dictatorship. Doesn't that sound much better? God, at this point, is there really much of a giant difference? So their next tweet is, so Gulag's first myth debunked. You work until you die in Gulags. The Soviets did away with life sentences, and the longest sentence was 10 years. Capital punishment was reserved for the most heinous crimes. Okay, here's the thing. If you could survive 10 years, do you understand what you were put in? Do you really think you could survive 5 years where you were sent to the middle of fucking Siberia in overcrowded prisons where you're forced to work, starved, beaten, and shoved in close quarters where you had lice and disease spreading? You really think that's gonna, you're gonna survive that? And oh my god, don't even get started. If you were caught doing something the guards didn't like, you would just get thrown in a damp, non-insulated room where you just pretty much die. They feed you once every couple days or so. And then you just freeze to death and die. So, yeah, 10 years, it's not that bad. So it goes on, the penal system was a rehabilitatory and one of self-supporting, a far cry from Western capitalist notion of prison. Gulags, Soviet gulags. I'm just gonna stay on Russia for now. Make our prisons look like luxury apartments. Are you serious? Even the worst prisons in our country look fantastic compared to a gulag. Oh, and it was self-supporting. That's good. That's why the people were starving. And there was overcrowding. The aim was to correct and change the way of criminals, aka political dissenters, who didn't submit to Stalin and his Communist Party. If it couldn't be done in 10 years, it couldn't be done at all. If you could survive 10 years, again. And regardless whether you were a male or female in that camp, surviving was absolutely brutal. If you're a woman, the best chance was trying to sleep with the guards to get a little extra protection, or with other men for a little extra protection if possible. And if you were a man, being a rat was usually your best chance at getting some extra food so you don't starve to death, but then if you're a rat, other prisoners will probably kill you. So, yeah, it sounds like such a humane place to rehabilitate people. Yeah, okay. Much like wider Soviet society, everyone who was able to work did so at a wage proportionate to those who weren't incarcerated, as they gained skills and were able to move up the ranks and work under less supervision. Meaning, are you brainwashed enough that we can trust you while you're on your own? And if it's so great, if it was such a great society, what was produced in the Soviet Union that actually benefited the people? Seriously, what did? There are people who are here who grew up in the Soviet Union, and you should really go look at their experiences with it. The only thing I can think of any value of people's free will that came out of the Soviet Union, this off the top of my head, is Tetris. And guess what happened when that dude got rich off Tetris? He didn't, because the state came and took it all. So let me just ask you this. What drive is there to innovate when the state will come in and take everything from you? Everything you work for to improve something or to create a good or service, the state takes. So why is it? Okay, this is going on to it. I'm digressing. Okay. You get what I mean. Educational work was also a prominent feature of the Soviet penal system. Education. Right. That's like saying North Korea has a good educational system because of 100% literacy rate. There were regular classes, book clubs, newspaper editorial teams,
Elmer's glue, safety scissors, Tootsie Rolls, combos, swimming pools, O.J. Simpson,
sports, theater, and performance groups. And if you're going for the education, I highly suggest you do not go that route. Because this is just... It's like modern day leftist campus. It's more so indoctrination type classes to make sure, you better obey the state. We know what's best for you. Don't think freely. This is what we're going to teach you. North Korea has a board of propaganda and education. I believe that's what it's called. Might be wrong. They have a 100% literacy rate. It is not a good country. There's so much more to add, but the reality is none of you actually care to learn about gulags. You don't care about what fascism actually is and how it's fueled by anti-communist Orientalist myths, lies propagated by the CIA. Oh, Jesus. Okay, now we're going into full-on conspiracy. Okay. Alright, well, since you're so pro-communist, which of the last 5 communist countries do you want to live in? You have Cuba. Must be people starving. Got people starving. North Korea, the most unfree place in the world, where essentially you're a slave. You don't even allowed to have free thought in North Korea. Let's see, Laos. Again, another shit country. Vietnam, and we all know what's going on there. We got child labor being exploited out the ass while all these lefties praise Nike, the ones who are exploiting the economic system of communism and communist governments to get child labor in Vietnam. And China, that's not even full-on communist. And here's my favorite part. They said, lies propagated by the CIA. Sources cited here. And it's literally fucking blank. It's fucking blank. Oh, good job, guys. Or maybe the evil secret police came and took away their sources. And you guys say, we don't care what fascism really is. You don't understand what fascism literally is. You are punishing people for free thought and free expression and want to send them to re-education camps and hard labor. Are you serious? And you want to say other people don't know what fascism is. Just fun. Let's look at the dictionary definition. Why when I typed in Google, I got fascist definition for kids? That's creepy. Anyway, so let's go to the Merriam-Webster definition. A political philosophy, good, it said philosophy. Most people see it as a system. It's more of a methodology. But a political philosophy, movement, or regime, such as one of the fascisti, I'm assuming they mean Italy, that exalts nation and often race above the individual and stands for a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social regimentation, and forcible suppression of opposition. That is what you are doing! Jesus Christ! So they sum it up with the end saying, long story short, the ideas of TERFs, which is trans-exclusionary radical feminists for those who don't give a shit, I don't blame you, and the anti-trans bigots, again, they didn't really define that or what that means, kill and must be eradicated through re-education. Look at their word choice. Eradicated. That's a scary word choice. Usually when you think of eradication of something, you usually think of killing something, but I'm just saying it sounds that way. Science must be decolonized. What the fuck does that mean? And de-essentialized in order for this to happen. What? What is science being decolonized? Are you talking about trans people? Are you talking about how they're biologically a different sex than the one they say they are? Are you trying to say that that's not true, that a trans man is actually a woman? And that if you say that, you're denying science? Or are you saying it the other way around? You're not exactly fully clear. Anyway, this is what's going on your college campuses right now in America. Well, actually in the West at large, to be honest. This is why I've been advising people now, if you're graduating high school, I highly recommend going to a trade school or using those loans to start a business, as opposed to going to, at least without research, a certain university, because they have these indoctrination. Because these teachers, they target freshmen. If you've ever been around these college campuses, you know that these teachers like to target the freshman classes and indoctrinate them early. And these are the type of people they're breeding at this campus. Anyway, God, that was just fucking cancer. Gotta go play with my cats to erase that negativity. Alright, my boys, don't get shot. See you later.